welcome everybody to Chesswood Arenas in Toronto. It's the Canadian Multicultural Hockey League Championships on Rogers TV. We have got the icing on the cake for the final game. My name is Anthony Regan. I'm here alongside the founder of the CMHL, Stan Popolkas. We've been treated to some great games in the round robin. This next game is going to be a doozy as well. The Nubian Kings against the Polish Hussars. This is a rematch of last year's semifinal.
And two very high-powered teams.
They are.
The Nubian Kings rely on speed, quickness, quick passing, quick breakouts. The Polish team are known for their peskiness and never give up fortitude.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game indeed. Two terrific teams who've got a little score to settle from last year. It's the Kings versus the Hussars on Rogers TV. Back with the puck drop after this. And welcome back to Chesswood Arena. Teams just finishing their warm-ups. We are set to go. This is one of the great battles in the Premier. How many teams in the Premier League, Stan?
It's 8.
8 teams.
There's 8 teams in the Premier this year.
Yeah.
8 teams in the Heritage Division,
right,
and 4 in the Women's Championships.
Okay, so we are set to do battle. The Polish Hussars, remember them last year in the semifinals, being beaten by the Nubian Kings. The Kings went on to play the Irish Shamrocks in a tremendous battle. That was on Rogers TV last year, and it was the Shamrocks who prevailed, although not for lack of effort, because the Kings have a never-say-die attitude. The number 7's on their sweater as well. You want to tell us about that background?
That's Herb Carnegie.
Right.
Right, so it's kind of built on that foundation of the Future Aces program. Noel Morgan, the general manager of the Nubian Kings, brought Herb Carnegie into this program from day one. And Herb Carnegie came to this tournament and took ownership in a sense of saying, I support this wholly, of what it was, and I wish this was around when I was playing.
Isn't that wonderful?
Right, so.
Herb Carnegie, of course, if you're not exactly sure who he was, a player of color back in the day, and as well, he has the arena named after him at Bathurst and Finch, and at North York Rangers of the Ontario Junior Hockey League play at the Herb as well. Every Sunday afternoon they have a game. There are some notable players on the Nubian Kings. I mean, I looked at the rosters and I saw Chase DeLeon, and then a friend that I've remembered, he's played on a few different teams right now. Shaquille Hickey's played, I think, on at least 4 different teams in the OJHL, one of them up in the York region area. Right now, though, he's playing for the Trenton Golden Hawks.
Is his nickname Suitcase?
No, we say he goes on the Shack Attack, and he plays for Jerome Dupont, who used to play for the Chicago Blackhawks and the Toronto Maple Leafs on defense. And
Philadelphia Flyers too, wasn't it?
No, just the 2 teams that I know of. Now you may have me, because I don't remember everything. But here we go. The Hussars now off the draw in red against the Kings. Here we go. Opportunity for the Hussars to strike first. Back to the point it goes. It's Mark Vida who told the guys on the bench just before the game, I am ready. I'm ready for this one. Here's an opportunity right now for Rain Carnegie, if that name sounds familiar. Yes, he is the grandson of Herb Carnegie. Number 7 out there. And in the corner there is number 9, Teddy Campbell. The Hussars now. Vida, had to take it off his stick. But there is a whistle on the play. I think the net's off the moorings in back behind Michael Ambrowitz. So in net for the Hussars, number 30, Ambrozowicz?
Michael Ambrozowicz.
Okay, Ambrozowicz. Thank
Michael
you, my friend.
Ambrozowicz.
Very good, my friend. And at the other end of the ice, Russ Bronwell, I do believe, will be in between the pipes. And it looks like Mr. Bronwell played for the University. I have to check on that. He had some lettering on his helmet. I had it all ready to go, and it slipped out of my mind for just a second.
So I'm not the only one.
No. Are you kidding? I need coffee just to remember to tie his shoes in the morning. Face off in the Hussars zone to the left of the net. There's been a scramble off the draw. And under pressure now. Inside the zone it goes. In the corner now, the Hussar player, he played it up the middle there and he's coughed it up, pardon me. Sorry, we just had a bit of technical difficulty there for just a split second. Here we go. Here comes the Kings now. Number 19 in and over the blue line. It's Levy. Gets it back. Got it upstairs. Plays this one back to the point. Unable to hang on there as here comes the Hussars. And they got some numbers. One going to the net. It's number 4. Pass was intercepted. Great job there by Shandor Alfonso. 83 intercepting that pass. That would have been a tap home for Joshua Douglas, number 4. Had the stick of 83 not gotten in the way. Alfonso. There's Alfonso now playing it ahead. The Hussars take over. It's Vida. He's got some time. Vida, indirect pass. Gobbled up. Vida now goes for an amble. That's Julius Hackney knocking his man. Around the boards it goes, near side. Looking for it there is number 39, Kucharski. Kucharski does battle. And here they come now, the Kings. Kucharski now. Gives that one off. Oh, nearly another turnover. Right now, the Hussars are in danger of being lackadaisical, perhaps, with the puck in their own zone. They have a man behind everybody. Here we go. Clear-cut breakaway. The Hussars with a chance to strike. Adam Mahalski went upstairs, glove side, and couldn't quite seal the deal. Here comes a 3-on-1 the other way. Great job to intercept that. I think that was Vito who got in the way, signaling he wants a change. It was the big lanky defenseman. The Hussars now on the doorstep. 1-0. Great goal right there. Mark Martinowski gets the first goal for the Hussars. Have a look at this, Stan.
So you could see it. You could see it that he was reading the play really well. He was waiting for the puck, and it just went right in, as planned.
Yes, indeed. So 1-0. The Hussars have the lead after a solo effort there by Adam Mahalski. Didn't pay off. The Kings had a 3-on-1 the other way. And the Hussars strike first. Number 33 getting the goal. Martinowski. Oh! Heavily into the boards. They may be out cold, it looks like. Now, there are first aid officials here. They were seated in the stands, and of course the...
and they're on their way.
They're on their way over. Good to know, my friend. Yeah, they're making their way over to the game bench right now. Actually going right past us here. Let's have a look at this. I want to see that again. I missed the replay. I do apologize. I was taking a look at the first aid staff as they're making their way over. Kings player has been down and not moving. And here comes the first aid paramedic onto the ice surface. We were in the midst of the play-by-play there. I just heard the big collision. I didn't actually see it as much as I heard it because I was glancing at my sheet for a moment to check a number. There he is, getting up, thank goodness.
The tournament highly supports and brings in a fair amount of St. John ambulance training for this tournament to make sure that all our players are protected as best can be. Good.
Here's Chase DeLeon now as he goes into the boards. You can see it was just a little shove, and more than anything, it seemed to be, well, the referee signaling a penalty against the Hussars. But of more importance right now to the Kings is that Chase DeLeon is up and making his way. Let's see if he goes right into the dressing room or stays on the bench. He's going to the bench. The 4 first aid people are here. 1 on the bench right now, the paramedic, and the other 3 EMS workers are here keeping a very close eye on the proceedings, so that's great to know. In the fastest sport on two legs, things happen, my friends. So, not coming, that's wide of the mark. The Kings play this one in back of the net. It's the big fellow, Alfonso. Dishes it back to the point to number 4, Khalil Thomas. Thomas gave it to Daryl Levy. Levy looks into the far corner. Was looking for Julius Halkenny. Oh, and a centering, well, pardon me, icing opportunity hit Halkenny right in the chop. So things go from bad to worse right now for the Nubian Kings. I'm not sure anybody noticed that. Pardon me, it was Daryl Levy who got hit with that puck. Number 19. Play on. Halkenny seems to be, pardon me, Levy seems to be okay. He's just checking his jaw. He got hit right in the face on a clearing attempt. We may even see it here. Watch this. There it is. Wow. Very good job by our camera all the way down the other length of the ice.
Great job.
So face off, and it's
we've been very fortunate since 2005 that we really had very little serious injuries. A lot of that as a result of the no intentional body contact. Although you can say that, you know, there has been some cuts, some bruises, you know, some stitches, that kind of stuff, just because of pucks going up and you know, high stick and occasional things. But for the most part, I think our worst accident has been a broken leg and the player went into the boards.
Yeah, and you know, that can happen at the PV level, right? Without any ill feelings. So here we go, the Nubian Kings looking to get something started. They get a chance right there. Denying them was Rosewich. Here is Nathaniel Brooks. Nate Brooks as he's known. Nate Brooks gets it back. Plays it ahead. Number 97 with it now is Sodi. Cleared by the Hussars, but touched up. Great job there by Aaron Atwell. He gloved it and then played it himself in the neutral zone so he wouldn't get called for a glove pass. The Kings now, all kinds of pressure on the doorstep. Still loose in the crease. The net comes off the moorings. Some pushing, some shoving out there. He's getting into it is Teddy Campbell, I think against Vida. Vida seems to have a big grin on his face. It is indeed number 3. Looks to be him. Part of my game, he said. Here's the look at the extracurricular. 'Tis the season for giving, isn't it, Stan?
It is.
It is.
And you'll see that they'll be at each other the whole game, and then afterwards they'll be at the bar sharing the drink.
Yeah, exactly. Good to know. Here's a little touch pass as the Kings get started out in their own zone. It is Halkenny. Offside there, and they're saying all the way, but the officials say no. Face off in front of the Hussars bench. The head coach of the Hussars, Sylvester Kowalski, I think he wants months on next, number 17. Might be Mahalski, actually. He gave him a tap on the back. I thought he might have him out there for that quick face-off, but no, indeed he doesn't. Here comes the Hussars, short-handed. Number 10, Gores now, shot right on. And Bronwell makes the save. Here's another look at that. Short-handed attempt. Cuts to the middle. Tries to use the defenseman as a screen and just gets it 200 feet from his own goaltender. So job well done there by the Hussars player. They're in for the draw. Number 39 steps in. Charski ties him up off the draw. Now looking down ice. They try and catch number 19, Levy. Daryl Levy took a puck in the mouth on a clearing attempt. 54 seconds now. They had a double minor to work with. They're down to under a minute. Shot coming, tipped right on. And we're not sure exactly if that was saved or not because we couldn't see so many bodies in front. Here they come again. Back to the point it goes. Shot gonna come. No, fake. Played into the corner. Khalil Thomas didn't actually take the shot. Levy in back of the net. Spins away from pressure. Levy plays it in back of the net once again. This for Boyce. Boyce into the corner for Alfonso. Alfonso has it back now off the half wall. Pass came back and the player in motion couldn't find that one. Julius Halfkenny has to get down the ice on him. Here he comes now. He gathers it up. Team's almost back at even strength. Cutting to the middle. Shot coming. It's off the stick. High off the glass and back of the net. Centering pass doesn't get anywhere. The Hussars protecting well. 4-minute minors expired. Back to the point it goes. And having to be quick there was Adam Hercules. And with that last name, Stan, he could be playing for the Greek team as well, yes?
I think he did play for the Greek team, if memory serves me right, because I remember looking at one of the rosters back a few years ago and loved the fact that this guy named Hercules is on the Greek team.
Who wouldn't like that? Here we go. Shot coming. Tipped in front. Great stop there by Ambrosiewicz. And we get a whistle on the play with 1:58 to go. There's a look at the netminder, and here's that opportunity here in tight. As a couple of Nubian players are there. But the stop was made and covered up. Bounce on the draw, shot coming. The big, lanky netminder just took away all the angle on that particular opportunity. The Kings, though, gather up the puck inside the neutral zone. Here they come again. It's a 2-on-1, but the player locked his footing. Chase De Leon is back up, and he's out there again. His centering pass went off the stick of the netminder. That one was ripped high and wide over the net. We have a high stick. Boy, things are just not going the way of the Kings, are they? This looks to be Jeff Augustine, I think. 27, is it? Yeah, it's Augustine. Is that a 1 or a 7? That's a 1. Pardon me, that's Atwell. Aaron Atwell. Oh, boy. Tipped in front of the net there off the point shot. The Kings starting to get some pressure. Back to the point it goes, looking for the one-timer. To the far side, looking for the backdoor man. It got away from Jamie Sodi. He's got it again. Sodi now walks out, looks back to the point. Too much traffic in front to shoot. Now that one's off the crossbar and mesh. Up above the net there.
A lot of times I get asked the question is, how do you really know if that player is of that ethnic background?
Okay,
right?
Good question.
And I say to them, I said, me, I don't know. I leave it to the general manager, the person who puts this team together, who knows the community, who will do it for the community and will keep the integrity of the whole event.
Okay.
Right? So it's easy to identify a Nubian player that he can't be somebody that he's not.
Sure.
Right? Because it's visible minorities.
Sure.
But when you get to the point of white, Irish, how do we know that are they Irish?
Right.
Right? You know, Mike Devine, one of the coaches and general managers, he actually makes people sign to say that they have Irish blood.
Good idea.
Now, if teams start cheating, it becomes a problem because now the whole intent of this whole tournament is to get those traditionally not hockey playing communities involved and interested and making them competitive.
Yeah.
You can't hide when you're visible. You can if you're not.
Entirely true.
Right? And that's always a question, is that how legitimate are the rosters?
Good question, my friend. And I think, and that's one of the reasons why you also have that import rule as well, right? Where usually it's a goaltender, one player is allowed to come from other backgrounds?
Yes, only for a goaltender.
Only for goaltenders, though. Well, there you go. So 1-0, the Hussars lead this. They have 24 seconds to kill off going into the second period. They lead this one by a score of 1-0. We'll be back with our second period action on Rogers TV. It's the Canadian Multicultural Hockey League Championships. Back after this. It's an annual holiday tradition here at Chesswood Arena, the Canadian Multicultural Hockey League Championships. This game is between the Hussars and the Kings. The second period is just underway. Stan Popokis, the founder, alongside myself, Anthony Regan. Pleasure to be bringing you these games, and we thank Rogers TV for bringing us the action. That shot was off a stick and up into the mesh there. An opportunity off the stick of Shandor Alfonso, number 83. Stan, you must have seen a little of everything over 9 seasons of being the founder and overseeing, at one time, 32 teams, all different communities. And
yeah, we've had a lot of teams. Some teams come in, some teams go out. Again, it's always about the timing of the event. You know, some teams say, well, we can't commit this year, we'll come in next year. And then we have our staple, the groups that stay all the time, no matter what. You know, if some players leave, they have enough to come back.
So there are
to
teams,
recruit.
There are teams that have been here for all 9 years.
Oh yes, very much so.
Good. Good to know. In back of the net now, the Kings starting out.
The premier team is all original teams.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice to know. So the premier, all 8 teams have always been here.
Yes.
Do they add to that over the years? Have you had more than 8 teams?
Oh, we've had as high as 16.
Wow. Good competition there. Here we go. The Hussars looking to pad the lead. That comes off the shoulder of the netminder. The net's off, but I don't think anybody's seen it. May just be pulled back on by the goaltender. Hussars now going to work inside the Nubian zone. Pass denied by Nathan Brooks. Here they come now. Alfonso. Shot coming. Boy, he can let it go. He just rolls the wrists. And the net's off the moorings. Stan, as we settle this out, how did this whole concept come to be?
That's another interesting story, Anthony. Back in the 70s, it was a little thing called the Canadian-Italian Hockey League that was broadcast
on City TV?
On the Omni channel or CFMT.
Okay.
I'll let you do the play-by-play and we'll pick it up.
Okay, because I remember watching the Italian League with my brother on Sundays, was that right?
That's right, every Sunday morning.
Okay.
And I used to watch it because I got a chance to see a lot of fights. And it was and the fights that always took place it's not necessarily between 2 opposing players, but the Italians would have a fight on their own bench.
Nice.
And I used to have a laugh at that, right? Because they were so fiery and everything else.
Yeah,
and ended up, my first job in broadcasting was doing the isolation director for this. And Louis Giannetta was the founder of the Canadian-Italian Hockey League.
Patty Giannetta's his
husband
or
father?
His daughter.
Okay. So, you know, he was, and I went to him one day and I said, it's a great idea if you can take the all-stars of this community and put them up against the Greeks, the Macedonians, the Chinese. And he says to me, are you kidding me? I have enough problems with the Italians, never mind everybody else.
Like it. There comes the shot right. Oh, I was gloved and to be sharp there.
No, there's a lot of vulgarities in that. I left those ones out.
Thank you. We would have noticed the screen's gone blank as we would be pulled quickly off the air. There was a chance here for the Kings. That was an excellent stop there by the netminder for the Hussars. What is a Hussar, my friend?
Hussar's a warrior.
Okay.
Right? It's a Polish warrior.
Polish warrior.
Yep. It's like a person, almost like a cavalry.
Yeah, on the horseback, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another opportunity down the ice. Here's Jamie Sodi now as he got one with him. He does. He spins from pressure, though. Takes a look. Finds some company, but the trailer was too well marked in the slot. Good job by the Hussars on the back check. Punched in onto the lane offside. The Kings looking like they lost a little steam when one of their players went down very early on that check. Oh, the 3-on-1 was nullified there. It's just pushed into the corner. Bit of a broken play there as Mark Martinowski, goal scorer, just sort of played the puck lazily ahead in back of the net. It gets away from the Kings. Here comes the Hussars. They've got a guy behind everybody looking for it. It's Joshua Douglas. The Hussar player was met with a brick wall. The Kings now in back of the net. Right wing side gets away from number 21, Aaron Atwell. The Hussars control inside their own zone. Retreat to the back of the net. Indirect pass. He was looking for number 4 on the Hussars, Douglas. Reversed in back of the net. Atwell's got it. You can tell it's him because you can't see his eyes. He's got that neat little mask on. I think the only other player I've seen wear one of those. Well, I'll get to that in just a second here. Played in back of the net, that off a stick of Teddy Campbell. Here comes the Kings trying to tie this one up in back of the net. Puck's just bouncing everywhere. It's not like it's being exceptionally warm. It's been very cold.
Yeah,
Did you lose power over the holidays, by the way?
Unfortunately, not me, no.
Okay.
I'm staying with a relative of mine because I'm flying in from Edmonton with the family.
That's true.
Right, to do this.
Nice.
You know, so we have to stay with an aunt. And fortunately, she wasn't affected.
Good to know. There's another hit there as Chase De Leon goes down once again. Gets up slowly and looks skyward. The Hussars now in back of the net. Wraparound attempt at a centering pass. His body's getting pushed and shoved and all kinds of people are going down. And we got us a Donnybrook, if you can call it that. As Julius Halkenny is tangled, and I think he's tangled up with Joshua Douglas, is it, number 4? It looks like Douglas, and I'm only going by what I've seen of Douglas. He has to turn around so I can tell for sure.
I think it is Douglas.
Douglas was given a rough ride there, and I think he went down heavily.
If you ask, Douglas's grandmother was Polish.
Okay,
right.
There you go.
Right, so,
well, Halkenny goes to the box for that transgression. We're just going to make this the second power play opportunity. The first one was the 4 minutes that wasn't cashed on. We're checking to see how Joshua Douglas is on the bench here. As the EMS workers are all of a sudden springing to life.
it's a great group of EMS workers. They're always on top of things.
Their headquarters are near here too, aren't they? Pretty sure
I think they come in from all over the place, but I know that they staff it quite well, and they really take care of the players.
Yes, indeed they do. And hopefully they're the type of people you don't want to have to do anything at all. Right? Yeah. We want them to go home going, boy, that was boring. Shot right on, up and over, shot! No, it's on the doorstep! Oh, we got to see that on a replay and up close. And
I am surprised that didn't go in.
Me too.
Really? It's just that you thought, okay, you're holding your breath, and it didn't go in. Here's a replay.
And the people to our left were going bananas, and understandably so, because I thought that was in. And then that was in. And then it's still lying there in the blue paint. Wow, that was close. Look at this here. Up and over the goaltender, but into the blue paint. It's out in front. Nobody knows it's there except the goalie. He does a snow angel and hangs on. Great action right here. Here comes the Kings again. Shot high. Oh, and going through the crease there was a player, who's Daryl Levy, who's looking like he's really determined to get something going for his team. Here's Alfonso. Played it off the shin pads of the player. Shot coming. Great stop there by the netminder Bronwell. Here they come short-handed again. Ambrosewicz has been under a bit of pressure. He stood tall, and I guess that's the only way to describe a goaltender who looks at least 6'4", if not more, in skates. The Hussars now dancing the tightrope there, just walking around everybody. Oh, it's almost too easy, but no goal. Walking around everybody was Adam Hercules. Nagrabienko, I think that was. No, 39, pardon me. Sucharski. Nick Sucharski just put on a bit of a clinic here. He's dancing, he's walking, he feeds. And how it was Nagrabienko who didn't score the goal.
And he was doing the splits there, the goalie.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know how that stayed out. With the left pads right there, as you can see on the replay. Great job. We're down to 35 seconds now in the power play afforded the Polish Hussars, who lead this by a score of 1-0. I was looking for a bit of a holiday miracle. I'm lucky to be here today, my friend. I had a sinus infection and then possible pneumonia going on. And I've been taking all my pills and everything, and you and I have been in long-distance communication. I said, I'm not 100% yet, but I don't want to miss this opportunity. It's too much fun.
And I really appreciate that, Anthony, you know, that this is not the same without you.
Well, listen, pal, you bring the family in from Edmonton. Here we go. Least I can do is show up and help out. Great opportunity right there. Richard Boyce denied on the doorstep. Here they come again. Teams back at even strength. 2:53 to go. Here's a breakaway! De Leon all alone. What a save! Second effort. Swept back to the point. It might be a breakaway the other way. Waiting for it with hungry eyes was Robert Martinowski. One of the Martinowski clan. There seems to be at least 3 of them on the team. To the middle of the ice it goes. Here comes the Kings again the other way. This game is starting to pick up and get some flow back and forth, Stan.
It was a little slower there for a while. Teams were a little bit being on the conservative side, but now they're taking chances.
I agree. Maybe too many shortbreads over the holiday, but they're back in action right now. Into the corner it goes. The Hussar player takes a good look. He was denied on the doorstep earlier, and what a great sprawling effort there. Chase De Leon. Beautiful effort there to deny an opportunity. That one's directed in front of the net, goes up and over. Redirected, pardon me. Here's a breakaway pass coming. They're looking for De Leon once again. Fans to our left that are fans of the Kings are starting to get to their feet here as this game picks up in intensity. And they come once again. Shot coming. Right there, doorstep. Denied once again. Ambrosowicz. He must have plexiglass behind him or something. He has just been incredible. Scores the other way. Nagra Bianco says, I didn't get the first one, but I got this one. Wow, 2-0. And the Hussars, who I believe fell to the Kings. Or no, was it maybe it was the Polish that played the Irish last year. I'm trying to remember. I do apologize. Seems like it was 12 months ago.
All these dates and tournaments kind of mesh together after a while.
I hear you. There's a look.
I was sure that the Italian women won the championship last year, and I'm wandering around telling everybody it was the Macedonian ones.
Oh, the Macedonian Sons
That's
against
right.
the Italian Gladiatrix.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. You're right. Yeah, you brought your whole family on a plane from halfway across Canada to be here, my friend. That's what we call being, putting yourself out for something.
You know what? We believe in this. A lot of people put a lot of work into this. It's not just me.
Right.
I have to hand it to a lot of the team organizers, the general managers, who have to put up with a lot of heartbreaks and telling people they don't make the teams, and they have to go out recruiting them.
Right.
I just have to do my part because I can't let them down.
No. And you rely on a group of volunteers as well to help out as well. This isn't something that's going year-round, is it? How do you like it to be?
No, the whole intent of the Canadian Multicultural Hockey League as it stands, but there's no league, was to actually start with a tournament to see what the interest was.
Right.
The interest was phenomenal. Players wanted to play in a league. They wanted to play in a higher, almost like a men's senior league, but of multicultural. But the problem was, more than anything, is where do you find the ice time unless you build your own arena?
Yeah, almost. That's true, isn't it?
Like, the GTHL consumes most of the ice time in prime time. Men's hockey leagues are not going to give it to you because they run their own men's tournaments.
They do.
And their own leagues.
Right.
So I can get the ice, but we're paying premium.
And that's going to be very expensive indeed. Well, who knows what the future will hold. They just opened up a new arena. I was very fortunate. I got to be the master of ceremonies and induct people into the Leaside Sports Hall of Fame. Peter Mahovlich and Marquise's partner, John Child, who's a Leasider. He was inducted, an Olympian that won bronze back in the Atlanta Games.
I asked you, did you talk to Peter about doing the Croatian team?
No, that's right. See, he couldn't be there. His son was there, Peter the Third. Peter Sr., of course, used to sharpen skates at the arena. Frank and Peter's father. As time winds down in the second. Sure would have liked to have more teams to marry her, right, my friend?
Yeah.
So 2 goals, 1 in each period. The Hussars have a pair and lead this one by a score of 2-0. The Nubian Kings, they have 12 minutes to answer back. After this, and a minute 6, on the power play. You're watching the Canadian Multicultural Hockey League Championships only on Rogers TV. Back with the third after this. Back here for the start of the third period. The Hussars have a 2-goal bulge. The Kings have yet to find Twine. Although Stan Popokis, they have had opportunities.
They had lots of opportunities.
They just couldn't catch.
They haven't been able to get to the bank and open up that vault.
Well, let's see what this big fella can do. It's Alfonso. Gets a shot. Sharp angle. He takes a look. Finds the trailer. Shot coming. Glove side. And Brozowitz, watch that one sail harmlessly past the far post. Here's an opportunity once again for the Kings. Shot right on. They've coming out flying here in the third period, and they've got a few more seconds with the man advantage, but they have to clear the zone, the Kings will. Hussars rattle this one around the glass. Sorry, Stan?
The general manager of the Polish team, Wojtek Śtigowski, mentioned to me that he really believes that his goalie is the best in the tournament. Right? He says that, the Polish team has the best goalie. And so far, he hasn't
proved himself wrong.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty good so far. There's been some outstanding netminders. We've seen 4 games in the round robin so far. It's a pleasure to bring them to you. Here they come, the Kings once again. In over the blue line, shielding the puck there is Leo James. To the front of the net it goes, slot area, bodies colliding. And off the left side point. That's number 21, Aaron Atwell. Double A takes it, loses it though. Now it's flipped high in the air. Here's an opportunity. Shot. Rising shot off Martinowski's stick. Once again, in front of the net. They cannot get things happening there. Good job there by Slabowski, trying to find Martinowski. Unable to do so, the sprawling Nubian Kings defender had a stick in the way. Into the corner. A little bumping. Down the wall it goes. Near side. Kept alive. Indirect pass. 2-on-1 shaping up. Here's Mahalski now. Adam Mahalski. Shot right on. Looking for the 5-hole. Denied by Russ Brownell. Pardon me. I have misread his name each and every time. I do apologize. I took a good look and adjusted my glasses. Brownell. Watching now. Made a great stop once again, no matter what his name is. Off some bodies in front, and there's a player without a bucket. That's how you try to get yourself out of some hot water, right?
You're very creative, Anthony. You're very creative.
You have to be.
Here's another Peter Zezel story.
Yes, please.
When we were talking about putting teams together, he thought that he'd like to have a game against the Croatians against the Serbs.
Okay.
Right? Because he's on the Serb side and he knew the Croatian side.
Sure.
I said, I don't know if that's the right thing that we can do at this point. I said, there's a lot of tension there, right? Maybe we shouldn't do it. Okay. But he was adamant to do it. So he says, okay, I'll do it. I'm going to do it very quietly. So no one's going to know. We're just going to have this exhibition game.
Okay.
And he calls me that same night. He goes, remember how that concerns that you had?
Because you were right?
No, I was expecting him to say, oh, it went really fine. He goes, Stan, not a good idea.
I like that. Well, honesty's the best policy, my friend.
He says, I don't want to go there.
Good stuff. This is all about the hockey, though. None of the politics or anything like that. It's all about Canadians playing the sport. Here we go. Trailer. Shot right on. Rattle makes another stop. Denying the Hussars once again. Takes a drink off the bottle. We have a look at this opportunity once again. That's Joshua Douglas. I think he fed Slabowski. I think it was 23. Could be Bonishnik. He said his name yet. No, I haven't seen 20 out there. The Hussars once again, that pass was intercepted. Rain Carnegie, watch it going back to the net. Here's number 16 now. Emil Morgan. Morgan's got it. Backhands it up to number 7, Rain Carnegie. Carnegie in and over. Carnegie cuts to the middle. And Chase DeLeon was knocked down. Penalty coming against the Hussars. Let them touch it pretty quickly. That's my school of thought. So somebody brilliantly yelled, "Too many men," because they had pulled the goaltender with the penalty coming.
One of the players came to me a couple of years ago and says, I don't normally play hockey after my playing days were done because I don't want to play in a men's league where I pass by somebody and they pull their legs out from under because they don't have the skills.
Yeah.
Right? And that creates the problems.
That's why I stopped playing. I don't like that stuff.
Right. So he says, I can play against a really good player like everyone is else in this tournament. If I get beat or I beat them, it's respect.
Sure.
It's not bush league.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no kidding. Well, that's entirely true. A lot of people don't want to play. I think my last game of real organized hockey, I nearly got into 2 altercations because guys are taking it way too seriously.
Right.
We're saying, hey, you know what? The scouts left ages ago and they don't care.
Now, you got to play with the Toronto Maple Leafs, right?
No.
Buffalo Sabres?
I'm laughing so hard I had to turn on the cough button here. Take it easy there, pal. I did play for David Branch. That was my wonderful mini claim to fame. Mr. Branch taught us a lot about hockey, and he relied on me quite a bit, thank goodness. And then years later, when I was doing a TV show for Rogers, he was a guest, so I could talk to my old coach. That felt awfully good, yeah. Here it is, back to the point, back to this one, which matters. God, that one sounded like it snicked off maybe the post or something. Here comes the Hussars, shorthanded. Mahalski had that taken away by Alfonso. He dished it on the reverse to Atwell. Atwell looking up ice, finds his man, had to go through his stick to get there. Are they going to find one now? Alfonso knocks his man down. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. The player went down, no call. In back of the net. To the point it goes. Pair of shin pads in the way. That was Slabowski. Blocked the shot. There's an opportunity now. Walk it in. Oh, I think that was a shot that turned into what looked like a pass as it went off a stick. Slabowski now has it, punches it, and makes his entire team jump.
I get asked that question a lot. Oh, what level did you get to play, right? You must have played some high level. No.
Don't always have to play
God never gave me the ability to skate well.
Well, you ever see that new commercial, There's No Such Thing as an Unassisted Goal, for Hockey Canada there, where it's, they say, goal scored by, assisted by the guys who made the pregame dinners and the people who flood the ice and the people who, sell the lottery tickets or 50-50 tickets, etc. They said there's no such thing as an unassisted goal. It's a new one. You'll keep an eye out for it, I hope.
Yeah.
And you'll probably see it now that I've mentioned it, but it almost gets me choked up a little because it's true. There are so many parents getting up and sacrificing. I remember my dad used to get up early each and every morning, but he always made sure I was there at the arena.
Right.
My brother-in-law taking his son to hockey because he said it keeps kids out of trouble and keeps them focused.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like for me, because I didn't have the physical skill sets to play well, like I played hockey and house league and that kind of stuff, but I was always strong in understanding the game.
There you go.
Right? I could understand it. I knew where to be. I just couldn't get there. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. I know. It's good.
No one can hear it, but he's using his cough button quite regularly.
Well, that's the thing. I think the cough syrup may be wearing off as we're 4 games into this, but it's only 5:11 to go, and it's the Hussars up by a pair. Look at this opportunity here on the doorstep. That one goes up into the mesh. Face off outside. Rain Carnegie in for the draw. He played it forward. Something more like Paul Gore's won it back. Now the Hussars chip it out to center. Oh, Chase DeLeon thought about it. Nice little poke check there by Carnegie. Pardon me, Teddy Campbell. Around the boards it goes. That was Julius Halkany. Inside the zone. Rain Carnegie. Threw that one towards the middle. DeLeon took a look back. I think he fooled everybody, including the announcer. I thought he was going to drop it for Carnegie. He never did. Now he's got it once again. Throws this one blindly. Here's a breakaway opportunity for Douglas. 4-on-4 here. The numbers, that is. Douglas 4 against Khalil Thomas. Off the wall. Number 13, Matt Welna now. Here comes Nagrabianco, who has the insurance marker. The other goal, Mark Martinowski. The Kings. They're at center, Alex Morton with it. Plays it back to Halkany. Halkany now. Box forward, he puts it in, he gains center, so goalie comes out and plays this one. Oh, an opportunity. Shot coming, rebound off the pad. Still alive to the far side, left side point. Shot goes off the stick. Nagrabianco got in the way of that one, in towards the back of the net. Every time the Kings try and get something started, the Hussars are just that one half step ahead. And of course, they have the goaltending too of Ambrosewicz.
I think I figured out the Polish strategy here is to really just slow this game down and not let the Nubian Kings score.
Like that, right? It's Alfonso. I was wondering when the big fella was going to strike. Shandor Alfonso. He's an imposing figure out there. And right as you were saying, I think I figured out the strategy. Boom. They managed to buy. Now, it wasn't a clean goal. Not sure how well screened it was.
What I was going to say is they're not letting the Nubian Kings play their game.
Yes,
and
I
that's
agree.
the speed.
Yeah. Well, here we go the other way. Number 17, Adam Mahalski. I remember a Barry Colts player, Daniel Mahalski, who played for the Aurora Tigers as well. He was the tournament MVP when they won an RBC in 2007, 2008. 607, pardon me. 0607. As bodies gather in front of the netminder. So it's getting interesting now, pal, with 2:34 to go. 2-1. It's a one-goal game. Can the Kings find it within themselves? They were getting kind of beat up out of the gate, weren't they? I mean,
they were.
A hit from behind, almost into the boards, and the player taking one in the chops, high sticks, and all kinds of things. They still haven't found their flow. Well, there's an opportunity. You got to get those shots low because those pads have been kicking out some juicy rebounds. What the hockey analysts talk about all the time, my friend, is a shot in the midsection, a goalie gathers in. A shot low oftentimes gets kicked out to somebody. Security's keeping a close eye on you. You notice that? I'm just kidding. I just saw somebody walking behind you, and it's this guy in the security.
It wouldn't surprise me.
No? How you liking living out in Edmonton, by the way, my friend?
You know what? It's a very family-oriented, very friendly city. I'm going to tell you that I don't hate it, even though it's long, long winters. You know, sometimes I think that there's a big play up on how cold it is there. It's not so bad because it's dry.
True.
Right? You know, it's a dry cold. Not like Toronto's where it's a wet cold and it gets into your bones.
When I was out in Edmonton and Alberta, Grand Prairie, Alberta, and Edmonton and everything, I couldn't believe the Western hospitality is not a myth. It is very much alive and well. Yeah. They stop their vehicles for you in front of the net. Here we go. Chance to tie it. Goaltender's down, scrambling to get back to his footing in back of the net. Down to 1:10. This one's getting very interesting indeed. Hospitality doesn't have a lot to do with anything here, my friend. When are they going to call the goalie and make it 6 attackers? In and over it goes. Delayed offside, says the official, so they have to scramble. Chase DeLeon has to get off. Now he's done that. He heads off for a change. Still deeply in the net is the netminder. Here we go, Levy now. Towards the net, shot, chopped at. 37.1, here comes the netminder. Brownell. WSU, Wisconsin State University. I
Yes.
think he played for the Badgers, eh?
Okay.
I do believe. Well, he's gone back into the net.
This is probably a strategy
bad
by the
idea.
Commissioner, so there's no goals against.
Yeah,
So, so there's a tie that they can make it in that way.
Okay. This is a big, important draw, and look at that. Atwell showing he's a little, or pardon me, Levy showing he's ready to go. Bounced off the draw. Thrown towards the front of the net. Player knocked down there. For the Hussars, that was Slabowski. And that's icing with 20.4 to go.
And now that they have pulled the goal.
Brownell is out and on the bench. And looking on with great interest now and his counterpart at the other end of the ice. 6 attackers for the King. Over there, hiding out in the weeds, is Khalil Thomas. I'm going to guess they're going to try and get it to Thomas because they're going to try and win it back to 19 and then over to Thomas. No, they're going straight for the net. That one goes off a body down the length of the ice, and that should be icing again. 13.1. Should we do it all over again? You know, another draw on that end of the ice?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it again. Or do you want to start from the game one again?
No, you know what? I'm surprised I lasted this long. With you,
I'm
pal.
surprised that you are too.
Yeah, I'm running actually on a lot of adrenaline because this has been such great hockey. I wanted to bring my little guy to see it all. Maybe I will as the tournament goes on. That one wide. 6.6 to go. Well, three's the charm, as they say. But this is really getting down to the wire. In the crowd's yelling, "Let's go red, let's go red." The Hussars stack it up in front of the net. Can they do it? Oh, just wide of the net. Time winds down, and the Hussars win by a final score of 2-1.
I think he was going for the 5-hole, but then it closed up, so he went to the other side and missed the net that way.
And just trickled it by the far side post. The Hussars prevail. We're going to be back with our post-game wrap-up from Chesswood Arenas. It's the Canadian Multicultural Hockey League Championships on Rogers TV. Welcome back to Chesswood Arena. Our post-game analysis here of the Canadian Multicultural Hockey League Championships, the game between the Kings and the Hussars. The Hussars, as you can see on the screen, prevailing by a score of 2-1. Stan, let's check out the highlights there. It would be Nagra Bianco who would get the game-winning goal.
Alex Nubrianco. I think that's how you say it.
Okay.
Nagra Brianco.
Okay. And there's the first one there. That was off the stick of Mark Martinowski. Here's the opportunities and great net minding there by Ambrosowitz. Over and over again we've been saying that, and some tempers were flaring here as Vita gets into it a little bit there. Mark Vita, number 3. Here's some more of the highlights there. Goaltenders put on a bit of a clinic. The big fellow Alfonso, he just rolls his wrists and it's already past the goaltender. There's an opportunity right there with a whistle blowing. Quite a game, my friend, but it seemed a little slower than I remember the action is. People getting into it a little bit, and that was Joshua Douglas getting taken out of the play.
Yeah, there was certainly there was a lot slower paced than the usual game between the Nubians and the Polish, but I think that was probably, again, I mentioned it earlier, a strategy that the Polish team did was to slow that game down.
Yes, indeed. And that was a shot going wide of the mark. And right as we were talking about this, Alfonso manages to break the goose egg of Michael Ambrosiewicz and get his team on the board. That's it for the game story, my friend. Stan Papokas, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Anthony.
You're very welcome. For all of us on Rogers TV, we thank you so very kindly for joining us. We'll see you next year.